Hey, what's up everybody? It is October 5th, just about 4 p.m. and I'm making final preparations to relocate the remaining 4 hives, the hives that survived since mid-July, over to Warden's farm. Nice gentleman, prior Marine, retired wildlife officer, fellow beekeeper, fellow club member, lives about 5 miles away, and he's nice enough to look after my hives, treat them like his own for the unforeseen future while I am living in California due to the orders I received as I continue my service in the Marine Corps. Let's go take a look at the bee yard and I will show you a first. This will be the first time since March of 2017 that my yard and my property have not had honeybees. So not the ideal situation, obviously, but trying to make the best of somewhat of a bad situation. All right, this is a path that I've walked for 5.5 years. And like I said, here in a little bit, once we relocate the remaining 4 hives, the yard will be completely bee-free. As you can see, we got some flights going on at a hive number 4 because I did not do a good job securing a few cracks in that hive, but we're just gonna have to make do and relocate them. But yeah, this is my last look at this bee yard having any bees in it. So I'll get back right where I left off here in a few years, but for now, like I said, just trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Slide number 1 over.
Let's see how active they are. So, pool noodle. I don't know if you know that. I might need a knife or something.
I got it.
That's actually stapled down. Yeah, pool noodle makes for a great entrance blocker as long as it's cut right. Yes, 3's one of the stronger ones, so I'm curious to see just how active they are once that's... Oh yeah. Yeah, they've been cooped up for about 2 days. Pretty active.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna fly out and
Oh yeah, for
be
sure.
like, oh yeah.
6 wasn't as strong, so still curious to see. I'm sure they'll be eager to get out of there. Yeah. All right, well, it'll take them a day or 2 to get situated, but
Oh yeah.
it's a nice spot for them. All right, let's see how active the first one is. This was definitely the weakest of the 3.
Oh, they're sneaking out.
Yeah. Yeah, if that pool noodle's not cut to size, they'll find any little crevice. Alright, well. I'm sure they're happy to have some freedom. Alright, one last look at a few of the hives that I relocated with Paul from Warden's farm. He's got a really nice setup over here. You can see number 1 up that way. And number 4 is still at the house. I got to close it up and I'll move them over here shortly, but they are settling in pretty quickly. This is number 3 and number 6. 3 is definitely the strongest of these 3 that we relocated. Number 6 was a close second, but 3's queen is doing a fantastic job. Just marked her the other day. Good food stores. But yeah, they're settling in very quickly. And his bee yard smells absolutely fantastic. Whole bunch of goldenrod in the surrounding areas. The bees bringing it in. And you can literally smell the sweetness from all the beehives. All right, everybody, back here in my bee yard. I took Paul's advice considering Hive, which one is this? Number 2 has successfully pushed duct tape out of the way. There is as you can see, one of the deep boxes, or this deep box, it's been damaged for quite a few years now. I've let the bees just naturally use that gap as they would, but that doesn't really help when you're trying to transport a hive. So after 2 days of using duct tape, initially just one layer, and then I used a double layer with more overlapping, they continued to push it out of the way. So I took his advice. I had some screen. I've used that in the past to close up the front entrance, but that should work a lot better for the gap there. So they have been closed up for 2 days, which is really pushing the limits. You don't want to go anything past 2 days. So we're gonna reassess moving hive number 2 later this week. So for the time being, I'm just gonna pull the pull noodle off, let them have some space, go on some cleansing flights, and like I said, we'll reassess later this week. Give them a day or two just to chill out, calm down, and then I'll come out Wednesday night, do the same thing, put the pull noodle back in place, staple it, secure it with some duct tape, and then get them moved over to Paul's place at Warden's Farm, NC. I'll put a link to them in the video and in the description. You should go check them out and subscribe, show Paul some love. But yeah, we'll get this hive moved over there come Thursday evening. So this is completely natural because the field bees are used to coming and going out of this entrance, and they will smell the pheromones from the hive. So it'll take them the better part of a day or two probably to reorientate to the front entrance after they realize this is no longer an entrance for them. But no big deal, they'll figure it out. And just like I showed you earlier, first time since March 2017 that this bee yard will no longer have bees. So again, trying to make the best of a bad situation. And Paul's a very nice gentleman, retired Marine, retired wildlife officer in the state of North Carolina. Overall nice guy, been keeping bees for a few years. I've helped him out in the past. He asked a favor, and of course I had no problem helping him out, showing him a few things that I've learned over the years. And now in a time of need, he is helping me out, and that is just greatly appreciated. So I'll get them closed up tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and then move Thursday. Yeah, just wanted to show you. It's always interesting when you open up a front entrance after it's been closed for a day or two. This hive is definitely bringing in some good food stores, most likely goldenrod, which has a very distinct smell. I wish there was such thing as smell-o-vision, because just like Paul's yard, I can smell it from this hive and it smells good. A few hives, or I'm sorry, a few bees doing their thing, circulating some air, circulating some pheromones from the hive. All right, folks, it's October 6th, just about 3 in the afternoon, and although this may look like a full bee yard, it truly isn't. The last hive down there that hasn't been relocated yet is hive number 2, but the rest of these are empty. And as you can see, I have the deeps and the supers down the other way, stored vertically to keep the wax moths at bay. I did scrape most of the wax out, but they seem to find any little bit left and they will make a mess, as you may know. And if you don't, check out the wax rendering video and you'll see just how much of a mess they can make. I'm gonna come out tonight and close up hive number 2 and then transport them over to Warden's farm tomorrow. But I took Paul's advice and used some mesh screen to close up the crevice on the back of number 2. But yeah, pretty sad day. As of tomorrow, once hive number 2 is relocated over to Paul's bee yard, this will be the first time in 5.5 years, since March of 2017, that we will not have bees on the property. So again, just trying to make the most of a bad situation, but definitely not a pleasant choice. All right, everybody, it's October 6th, just about 9 p.m. and this is my 3rd attempt at closing up hive number 2. So the first 2 attempts failed because initially I started with just the pull noodle. It wasn't cut to size and the bees managed to find an opening and escaped. And the other failure was on the back side here. The deep has some damage to it. I put some duct tape over it, but the bees managed to push through that. So I took Paul's advice, used some mesh, and that works fantastic. And the other failure was with the duct tape. For some reason, the bees pushed through that as well. So I'm gonna check on them tomorrow morning or afternoon. The plan is to get the hive moved over to Paul's place at Warden Farms, NC, to join the other 3 hives I moved over there yesterday or the day before, which was 1, 6, and 3. So this is the last hive, the 4th hive that survived since July. So the plan is to get them moved over to his place and he's gonna look after them for me. He got into the hives today, treated them. He's gonna feed them tomorrow, give them some supplements, and basically just give them a boost so they can have a higher chance of surviving the winter. But yeah, just wanted to show you 3rd attempt at closing up hive number 2. We'll see. Keeping my fingers crossed for tomorrow. Hopefully everything goes well and we can get this hive moved over to his place. Here we go with number 2. They've only been closed up for about a day, but I have a feeling they're gonna come pouring out like the other ones. Not terrible. They're definitely happy to be out though. Yeah, they should settle in pretty quick.
Yeah, they're calm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always pleasant surprise when they're not trying to kill you. You know? Fry that up just a little. Yep. Oh boy. Let's see if we can fish that out of it. Yeah, some of them fit nicely. There we go. Yeah, big shout out to Paul from Warden's Farm. Helped me out in a time of need, relocating some of the hives over to his property. So they're in his hands now. Just wish him the best and hopefully he gets a nice honey crop from them.